balls.
Hello and welcome to 20 Possibilities. Fuck. Alright. Last session was insane. Before I get to that, I have an
Oh,
announcement.
that's horrible. I
We are
can see it
doing
now.
a giveaway. So once we reach 50 followers, I will be giving away 4 coasters. We have it on our 20 Possibilities Twitch page, which I will somehow link in there at some point. Only within Australia because shipping costs are ridiculous. Maybe down the track we will look at doing international shipping, but
If we
for
ever get
now,
international fans.
yeah, exactly. But for now, there's 52 designs I believe I have up that you can choose 4 of any for the lucky winner if we ever make it to 50. Hi, Nelio. Uh, all right, so last session. It's a lot to unpack.
Fuck.
So, where do I begin?
Yeah.
Hang on. Alright. So, Blaze and Xalston were hired by the Marquis, or the mayor, I should say, of Silvano, to head out and rescue Asher and a child. I forget her name. I did have it written down somewhere. To rescue this child and Asher, bring them both back alive, and name isn't important, I guess. It's not important. She'll probably die on the way back anyway. So, after trekking for a day and a half, maybe day and 3/4, they managed to come across Asher, who had the child, and they were pinned down in a outcropping of rocks, just covered in blood and bodies from Asher, holding off these waves after waves of goblins and gnolls. Xalston and Blaze joined the fight. It was going pretty well. Blaze taken a few of them out with is it magic missile?
I don't know. All I know is there's some explosions and screaming happening
Yeah.
over there. I was thinking, yeah,
And
he's fucking got this.
yeah, he flew 10 feet above this rock and just took out like 5 of them. Four or 5, I think. Memory's not too good. I really didn't want to rewatch it, so I didn't. Then he took a hit from, I believe it was a gnoll throwing a spear, and it rolled a natural 20, and he dropped. As he dropped, Xalston and Asher were still fighting the remaining goblins and gnolls. He failed his first death saving throw, succeeded his second. He failed his second death saving throw, or third, and
Second, then third.
and then he used his inspiration to re-roll his third failure death saving throw and failed again. As Xalston watched his last breaths, he turned the goblin that he was versing into a bloody mash and made his way over to Blaze's corpse. And underneath Blaze's coat there was movement, and his familiar bat came out and Spider-Man ashed into the world.
I forgot about that.
And we were all in shock, but that is where we left off. And so we pick up with Xalston standing over Blaze's corpse, and Asher is 10 feet back, protecting this child.
Asher, are there any more?
He's going to make a perception check. Nope. I can't see any.
Right. We gotta get out of here. I don't know what to do from here, though. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do with him?
You could try to carry him at least somewhere a bit more private.
Is there anything on these fucking pricks that could help?
You gotta go see if you can
I'm not leaving
find
him.
anything. You gotta try to loot. You could do an investigation.
Did you check him? I'm not leaving him.
Hang on. So I rolled another 16.
Yeah.
It's not showing up on the chat because the bar's so high. Hang on, I'll just roll a couple of extras to get it to start coming down. There we go. Alright. Yeah, so he rolled a 16. He starts going through. He finds like some copper, some buttons, like, but nothing of use. They look like they're scavenger drones.
I suppose let's grab a couple of their spears. We could turn them into some kind of trolley litter type thing. I don't know. He deserves to be brought out of here with some dignity, at least.
I mean, we could always make like a couple of spears, use some of their leather belts,
Yeah,
to
we'll
like
make some
make
kind
a
of
stretcher.
yeah stretcher. That's the word. That's the word for you. Make up a stretcher for him. Let's get him out of here.
So you spend 10 minutes strapping, using some of the belts and bits of leather that you find on the bodies, and yeah, you form this stretcher and
I've got with me.
place Blaze's body on it.
Assuming he's got a bedroll on him, I'd take his bedroll out and just kind of lay it across him, just so you know the kid doesn't have to be staring at a corpse for the whole trip back.
Yeah. I will say Asher was suffering a few points of exhaustion, so he was already travelling at half speed.
Yeah, this is going to be a slow run back.
So you guys start making your way back.
Yep.
You hear every now and again like yips and chittering coming from the distance as you continue to move along the way back towards Savannah. It starts to get dark. About the same time as, like, you know, the tree that you stayed in last time is a bit further, you reckon if you travelled about an hour into the dark, you'd probably be able to find the
make
tree?
it to the tree. Yeah, let's get back to let's get to the tree. It's gonna be a lot easier to defend ourselves if these little fucks come after us.
So I'll
As
say
much as
that
I'd
you
love to
make it.
murder every single one of them, I don't have it in me.
Yeah, I'll say you make it back to the tree. Um, so the tree was a like massive. The trunk was like hollowed out in like a swirling kind of motion that dispersed. So you got like a fire pit that worked like a chimney, and it dispersed the smoke out. So it wasn't like a "we're camping here" flare.
Yeah.
Um, Downside is the way that it's going to be a bit of a effort to drag the like blaze in and the stretcher in.
I'll get him in. I don't. If we have to take longer resting here, I don't care. I'm getting him in there. I'm getting him. I'm getting him safe. I'm keeping him safe.
Yep. So you manage to, with the help of Asher, you kind of respectfully position his body on the inside of the tree. The kid is shitting themselves, but you know, still happy to be alive and kind of just hanging on to Asher's kind of leg. But you guys feel pretty safe in here.
All right. Well, actually, you get some rest. You're tired. You're more tired than I am. I'll take first watch.
No worries. Make a perception check.
Disadvantage. That was nearly a natural one.
Throughout your watch, you continue to hear like movement and like yips and chittering, kind of almost like it's catching on the wind and echoing, but nothing kind of too close to where you are. And your watch goes by without issue.
Okay. I'll go wake Asher up. Just. It's your turn. Don't let anything happen to him. You saved
I'll
us
keep
all.
an eye out.
You know, try to get some sleep.
Alright, he will make his perception with disadvantage because his investigation should have been disadvantage too. 19, yeah. He rolled good.
Was it 2 19s or nat 20 and a 19? Oh, wait,
It
plus
was a
4,
nat
never mind.
20 and a
Never mind.
15.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so he sits up, he watches one goblin comes really close and he's like one hand on his I think he's got a warhammer. He like grabs that and reaches out towards you, but the goblin keeps like skittering off into the trees and bushland ahead.
These little fuckers.
And his watch goes by without issue, and the sun starts to rise, so you can mark off a long rest.
Now he's going to still got a point of he's going to still have a point of exhaustion, isn't he?
Yep. Which I didn't actually put on. There we go.
There you go.
Not sure if that actually does its thing in D&D Beyond or not, but we'll see.
No, you still got to consciously do it yourself anyway. I mean, it just mainly just has it there to remind you.
So morning comes, you wake up. Considering everything, you feel like shit, but physically you feel alright.
Yeah. For breakfast, I include. I think I still got it. Yep. My last bottle of rum.
Breakfast rum?
Yep. Half of it I pour out. I know you didn't drink it, buddy. This is for you. I'm gonna get you somewhere safe. Don't know what else I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna get you somewhere safe. We'll figure
So
out something
you-
else. And yeah, start grabbing a stretcher, start dragging. As soon as it's time to start camp, I just grab a stretcher and I start dragging.
Yep, so you make your way out of the tree.
Yep.
And make a perception check.
Now I roll dog shit.
No worries. Alright, so you start heading back towards Sylvano. You can move at like a brisker pace now.
I suppose it's still
Than you
moving
were
at half
before.
speed because I'm dragging a body.
Yeah. But it was like Asher was helping you before and it was down to quarter speed kind of thing. So
Yeah, that's why it took me so fucking long to get to the tree.
yeah, you're still moving slow, but it's not, you think that you should be able to get to Savannah just before or just after sundown, assuming there's no other issues. Currently, you're
world.
still kind of pushing through. It's like your camera keeps on flashing green. You're still pushing through. It's like very low density forest, and you haven't made your way. It's still about maybe an hour's travel before you can actually get back onto the main road, because you diverted off and it's like fields, but you're getting close to the edge of the forest, and then it's kind of slowing you down because you're having to weave between trees and like dragging this 6 foot stretcher through that. You can't kind of move as freely as you would if you were just all walking.
It occurs to me, this kid, she's got nothing with her, does she? So she will have needed to eat at some point throughout all of this.
I'll say that Asher's got supplies because he was going out.
It's just I do too, so I figured I was going to probably share some with her as well, just so look here. Tastes terrible, but she'll keep you from getting hungry.
She kind of takes it from you, wipes it like on her clothes, because I mean her clothes are less bloody than you are, so
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Honestly, the blood probably makes it taste better, but you know, never mind. Don't worry.
Blaze would have thought so too.
He would have. He would have just licked the blood off and left the rations.
Yeah.
You know, I never had to worry about bloodstained clothes with him around. I always woke up the next morning and my bloody clothes were dry.
Bloody prestidigitation. Fuck. Still coming to terms with.
Oh, I point out. At some point as well, just to kind of gesture over to him, was like, this guy. He was scary looking, but he was definitely nice. He was definitely a nice guy, nicer than anyone else I'd ever met before. Put up with my bullcrap. I know you don't care, but you just want to get home. I wanted to say something to someone.
She kind of... The whole time you've been travelling, she doesn't speak.
That's why I like talking to her.
She has that eyes wide, kind of like waiting for the next shoe to drop kind of expression. But as you speak to her, she responds in like nodding and
sort of, yeah. I look at what's left of the rum bottle and I think about it for a second and go,
Jesus Christ.
No. You're still too young for that.
I'll kill this kid with alcohol poisoning.
No. There's been a possibility that ashes are here. You need some of this, I think.
He doesn't even hesitate. He just takes a massive swig, hands it back.
I forget where I got this one from, but it's good stuff. Feels like medicine.
You guys travel for the remainder of this day, and just as the sun sets, you see the wooden fence line of the encampment of Silvano. And it's probably about maybe a half-hour walk from where you are a main road. It's starting to get a bit dark, but you know, the lights start like glowing in this fence line, and within half an hour you're at the gate.
Please tell me it's
Excuse
Dave.
me.
Please tell me it's Dave on the gate.
No, it's Nova.
Damn.
She kind of sees you approaching, and
Found him.
She's like, "Oh, you fit," and stops as like she takes the scene in and realizes.
Yeah, found him. Had a bit of an issue. Yeah. Little help?
Uh, yeah, of course. And she rushes over, and like
No. With them. I got him.
she kind of stops for a second, and then looks at Asher and goes, "Are you right? I'll I'll go find her mother." And she turns
Make
around,
sure she looked after. She needs something warm.
and Nova just bolts back into the town. And as she runs past this, like, it's like a warning bell. She just clangs it as she runs by, so it like kind of does this ding, but it stops at that, and enough for people to kind of like know something's happened, but so
And
they
anyway, it
kind of
comes out,
make
they
their
just
way
see
towards.
this one very determined looking little fucking gnome. 3 foot little motherfucker just dragging this fucking body on this makeshift stretcher. Big divot marks left in the ground. He doesn't fucking care at this point. He's like, getting him home. At least as close to home as we got.
Armando kind of, there's a bit of commotion, and after maybe 10 minutes, you don't make it very far into the actual town because people start coming to you, and your first instinct is to, like, keep people away. Then Armando comes up and he's like, "Friend, just calm down, all right? It's going to be okay. Shit. There's nothing we can do here.
He deserves some kind of respectful burial.
I mean, we've
You
got
know much about him.
we've got a graveyard not far from here that we could, do a respectful burial."
He died a hero. We would all be dead if it hadn't been for him.
He kind of like
There
looks
were
at Asher as
so
you say
many.
this, and Asher's like, nodding in agreement.
There were so
Well,
many. There were so many. He took out a lot of them without even trying. If it was just one guy, should have been there.
well, how about tonight? We all gather. You tell us stories about him, and we can drink in his honor. And tomorrow we will give him a respectful farewell. Unless, of course, you wish to take him to Dorelia.
Honestly, people here were nicer to him. Everyone here accepted him. We weren't here for very long, but he was weird looking. I mean, so am I, but
We are a very accepting town, and it would be our privilege to honour him.
I think he liked it here better. Above the table, where did you get the best blood from? Was it here or was it?
It was here.
Yeah.
Old guy. His name was Fred.
Yeah. Bloke here, Fred, who looked after him better than anyone in town. And there were a couple of people in town who understood him, and little lovely people, and I'm going to let them know what happened. But people here, they were good to him. They're good to us. I think he'd appreciate this being where he ends up.
It's like
I'm going to say something for later with the telling stories and shit, but
Mondo's like, we have a guy that prepares the bodies for the funerals, and he's good with the words and stuff. So
it's weird having funeral ceremonies in a world where there's no religion.
Well, it's not there's no religion, it's there's no gods that give powers. Kind of like our world.
Oh, so that's why I can still be an acolyte, right? Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. That still works.
So
Okay.
there's still religion and stuff. It's just like you
no
don't
actual god.
gain any buffs from being like a cleric of X god.
Right, you feel better though.
Yeah. So and a lot of it is like come from the earth, go back to the earth.
Yeah, okay,
Kind of
yeah,
philosophy.
fair enough. Fair enough. Spiritualism. Right. All right.
But
Just yeah. He's a hero. Where's the tavern?
so where's the tavern?
I need a drink.
He kind of
I
ushers
straight
you.
up say to Armando, thank you so much. Where do I get a drink?
Alright, so first thing, he introduces you to this elderly man who's wearing like a black suit and a matching black kind of wide brim hat, and he introduces you to him, and his name shall be
His name will be
Will.
no.
I need to. His name is Kane. And he's kind of greets you with a somber but accepting kind of like handshake / embrace, and
And a bit like I almost just kind of push him off me, but I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I need this, and lean into it.
and he's like, I'm sorry for your loss. Do you mind if I take this one's body and prepare it?
I'll come with you. I want to see where he is. I don't need to stand by while you prepare him, but I want to see where he is.
No worries. And he takes you, like... So you got, like, the perimeter fence. It's, like, almost like a circle. You guys are at the south gate, and you kind of skirt on the inside of the fence, but you skirt around the inside of the fence probably about a quarter of a way. So if it was like a clock face, you'd be at like 7.5. And there's this... It's probably the second nicest building that's in this complex. The nicest being Armando's. I don't know what the emoji that is.
Neither do I. Ruining the moment.
I don't know. It's like a chapel of sorts. And on the inside, he takes you in, and there's like an altar at the front where he gets you to help him lift Blazer's body up onto, and he starts placing like flowers, and there's some like oils and stuff that he puts on the skin.
I'd like to assume with my acolyte past, I have an understanding, at least I can help him a little.
Yeah. Like, you haven't really experienced anything like this, but you've read about it and you understand what he's doing, like cleansing the body, getting it ready to go back into the earth with the least amount of kind of
I had to do it enough
disturbance
in my
to the...
youth. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he starts to prep the body for the burial.
All right. You got it from here. I looked down at his body one more time. She said,
if you do need or wish to, this is always open. And he kind of gestures over, like, so you got like a few pews, kind of like maybe 6 in total. You got the altar at the front, and then to the side there's this like, it's 2 walls and a bed. He's like, if it would make you feel better, you can sleep here tonight and keep an eye on.
"Oh, I may well do that, but for now, I need to go get wrecked."
Celebrate his life.
Not only that, my buddy here, he would understand. Before I do that, though, take one of my hand axes out, and I lay it on him. This is for you, mate. One more. We lost so many. I'll get another one. You know that. It's okay, mate. You hang on to this one for me. And I'll remove that from my inventory. As soon as I figure out how.
Well, while you figure that out,
fucking never mind. I'll do it later. Whatever. It's gone. It's gone.
Yep.
I have 2 in my inventory. I'm gonna replace it eventually, but for now, it's gone.
And you head out of the chapel and head towards the center of town, which has that like market area kind of spot that has the coffee shop that is also the tavern. So like it's a coffee shop for breakfast, and then it converts to a tavern at night. It's like a caravan kind of thing.
It's the same fucking thing. Let's face it. They'll sell you booze whenever.
Yeah. Oh, they will.
This isn't our country.
It's got a different aesthetic. So like it gets about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it goes from like these uh, tables and chairs with like umbrellas and stuff to wine barrels and tankards, leaky tankards. Um,
I've actually drunk from a leaky tank, and it's not as fun as you think.
no, I'd rather drink from a shoe. Uh,
So much is wasted. No, I still drink. I'd still rather drink from a leaky tank. Anyway, yep. I head over to the tavern and just.
uh, as you approach,
Well, actually, no. Before I go to the tavern, I go to Armando, ask where the child's family lives because I want to go check up on the kid.
as you get
After
to
everything I've done with
Armando's,
kids, after everything I've done with kids, all the trouble I've had with the kids, I'm not letting another kid die on my fucking watch. So I want to make sure the kid's okay.
yeah. So as you get to Armando's, door still is semi-repaired. I don't think it'll ever be repaired properly.
Well, I
But
thought I did.
yeah, uh, it is partially ajar, and
Oh, you son of a bitch! I saw what you put in chat. You prick.
wait until he comes back. So, um, the door's partially ajar, and you hear Armando talking to someone. Do you knock? Do you just walk straight in?
I go to kick the door in. Then I hesitate. Then I walk straight in. I don't kick the door. I just open it and walk in. I'm still not knocking, but I'm not breaking shit anymore. At least not right now.
Armando looks up and he's like, "Oh, just the person we're talking about. Fantastic. Did Kane get everything sorted?"
He did.
And
He
as
did.
you look in the room, you see Armando's sitting at his desk. He was walking freely when he came and greeted you. He no longer was using his walking stick.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. After the thing fell on him, the bookcase. Um, he's currently talking to the mother of the child, and the child's in there too. And the child looks at you and like just grins and hugs her mum, but like kind of like the mum's standing here, child's like on this side, you're on this side, and she's like hugging her mum, looking around and just grinning at you. She's just so happy.
I was almost about to say, look, I looked down at it. No, I looked dead level at it
Yeah,
because
it's
we're
just,
the same fucking height. How
uh,
you doing? Feeling better?
yes, thank you. You see the mum is like,
The fact that she uses words already just hits me.
the mum is a full-blown elf. Um, you know how they always depict elves as like regal and stuff, and it's like, you know, they're proper and all this. She is a farmer, and like you think, you look at her and you're like, maybe once upon a time she was like, oh, I'm a fucking da 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 da, but she's been out in the world, she's experienced shit, and she's like,
He's gone full West Country.
yeah,
All right.
and all right, what's going on here?
Yeah.
She just runs up to you, drops down to a knee, and just hugs you. Yeah, almost bowling you over. She's just like, thank you so much.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I'm
long as
gonna
she's
get this
okay.
kid's name because it's gonna piss me off. It's like Namir or something. It
I don't
was.
think you ever fucking told us, to be honest. Hang on, let me check my
No, I
notes. Maybe
did.
it's in there.
I did because it was in the. I wrote it in the. Nope, that's my letter to
Oh man, my notes are an absolute
Let's Roll for
fucking
Dragons.
mess.
That's not it.
It's not on Silvano notes. Oh god.
Um,
I'm sure if I was in a different state of mind, these notes would make more sense. What the
Nimrith.
hell? Nimrith.
Nimrith.
What the hell have I
Small
written?
female child, half elf, taken by goblins.
Hold up, hold up. Okay, I got to add this to Silvano, to my Silvano notes, because
Yeah, so do I.
Nimrith,
Nimre.
Nimre, Nimrith. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, Nimrith, an elf kid that
Shit.
plays and I saved. So regardless of what happens from this point on, his accomplishments there are immortalized in my notes.
And a goblin jumps through the window and kills Nimrith.
I will come to your house and stab you. Oh, you're playing that card, are you? Oh, I can't do it with my
Ha!
headphones.
You got headphones that sucked in.
This was
Uh,
good.
Hang on, if I was gonna do that, I'd do. Oh no, I've
I've
lost
got too much
it.
hair, that's the problem. Hang on, if I stretch it up and down, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, if I was gonna do that, I'd do this. You'd know something was going on because it would go. Dun-dun-dun. Yes, so. Oh no, I gotta. Cool. Yes,
color
I got
switch.
new toys.
You wanted to switch it to red, didn't you?
I lost my ear. Alright.
Oh, he can't hear me.
Oh, I've only got one. There's the other.
Oh, gee, wouldn't it be great if DM suddenly gave you level 20? Never mind.
So, you are pretty much bowled over by this mum. I don't know who's in the chat, if anyone. Someone come up with a female name. That will be the mum's name.
Anyone?
Can't be Jeff.
Bueller?
Alright, so the mum kind of bowls you over, hugs you, and she pulls out this like cloth and is like trying to clean you are still covered in blood,
Oh, yeah, I am, aren't I?
and she's
forgot
like
about that.
trying to clean it off and like do the motherly kind of check you over, and
Immediately
she's like,
as she does it, I realise I'm still covered in blood. Nora goes, he used to fix this for me. I look up and said, just know, if it wasn't for my friend, this wouldn't have happened. Nimrith would not have been here right now.
but she is, and you are, and I'm thankful
He
for
is.
both of that.
Yeah. He saved us too. We're going to have a big old celebration tonight. I'm sure she can't come because let's face it, there's going to be booze. And she needs her rest. I just wanted to make sure she was okay.
She is, thanks to both of you. And Asher.
I'll look over for a second and think. You like axes?
She looks at you and her eyes kind of. Nope.
All right. Just a thought. Never mind. But I could show you how to use one. If a goblin tries to mess with you, you could chop him to pieces. Nah, you know it. Don't worry. You'll be fine.
I just realised that my border lights went out.
They did? Oh no.
There we go.
Catalina.
Wait, what?
Oh,
Catalina.
Dana's given us...
Catalina and Nimrith.
Okay, let's take Catalina and let's try and elfinize that.
No, that was the thing. She got to choose it.
Fair. Fair.
You don't get to change this.
All I would have done was take the A off the end and put a DEL on the end. Catalindel. There you go. But no, Catalina, that works.
Maybe this was the name she chose for herself as she came to Silvano.
I don't know what that emoji is, but I fucking love it.
Bounce, 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 bounce,
So
bounce.
bouncy.
Alright, my notes are fucking terrible. So,
They can't be much worse than mine.
can you read yours? I can't read mine.
Oh, I can read them because there's words, but
Mine aren't even words, they're just chicken scratch.
they made sense to me at the time.
Chicken scratch. Alright. So, Catalina. There we go. Kind of, as you say, axe. She cocks her head a tiny bit, and then you say, I can teach you how to use it. And she cocks her head the other way, kind of like the dopey dog, like, huh? Huh?
Like, oh,
Child was just
no.
kidnapped. Teaching her how to use an axe. I mean, could
So
be
she
useful.
never gets kidnapped again.
Armando's just kind of taking this all in, kind of half swinging on the back of his chair, just kind of looking at you, just like. He leans forward and goes, he's not really one that interacts with people very well.
Or
Best intentions, but maybe leave the axe throwing for a later date.
you guys say anything about throwing the thing? She's got to learn how to not lose her weapon before she learns how to lose her weapon. You know, we'll worry about it later. Yeah, you're probably a bit too young. Just at least next time you find a nice pointy stick, rub it on the ground, make it pointier. Just always have a nice pointy stick on you. Anyone tries to mess with you, you just
She looks at you and she pulls this tiny, like, inch-long dagger, kind of, inch-long blade dagger out of her boot.
oh, nice, nice.
She
I mean,
gave
you gotta
me
high five
this.
her. Yeah,
Sticks
yes.
it back in, and her mum kind of
High
like
five.
does this.
High five. What? No, nothing. Ashley gave her a toy. It's fine.
The mum, it just does this like full. So, what was that? Look.
Nothing. It was nothing. Yeah. Maybe later when you get older. I'll show you. how
She's
to
like
chop
5 years old.
things. Exactly. She's only 5. Couple of years. I'll show you how to chop things.
So yeah, you end up having a conversation with Armando, Catalina. I was going to call her Katarina. Catalina.
Well, it's Katarina in Japanese.
What's Japanese?
Yeah, wait, what? You mean Esterosi?
And Armando kind of goes, look, Catalina takes Nimrith and they leave. And Armando's like, just before you go, Xalston,
Yeah.
first off, I would again like to offer my condolences.
Mm.
I know that Blaze was quite a companion. I witnessed his abilities and his
In all
ability
honesty,
to
in all honesty, he
control
was.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
Oh,
control, but
keep me in
manage.
check. Yeah,
Manage you.
manage. I like that word. Is manage. Yes, he
Yes.
kept me in check.
But
Outside of that, he was my best friend.
there is one thing that we do need to discuss.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What's that?
You managed to bring back Asher and Nimrith alive.
I said I would.
Yeah, but with your track record, I mean, do you
Hey,
blame me for doubting?
what track record? I did everything. I've done everything I said I wouldn't have passed.
Yes, but your track record with bringing kids back alive is
Hey,
now in the positive. Now,
above table. That wasn't here. That was the other fucking city. He
yes,
doesn't know
but
about that shit.
no, he does. Repeat told him.
Oh, repeat. Yep. Yeah, that was. Look, accidents happen. Look, and why do you
And
think I
I
care so much
understand.
about
And
this
look,
kid?
maybe in the future you stick to jobs that involve rescuing one kid and not a bunch, because you seem to
No,
have better track record with that.
I've learned in future when there's a bad guy on the opposite side of a horde of kids, don't throw the axe across the kids. Run through the kids and then bury the axe in the bad guy. See, I'm learning as I go. It's all good.
And look, living is learning.
Yeah. I
And
mean, if I got to elbow little shits in the face to get to the bad guy, that's fine. At least they're alive with maybe a broken nose, but at least they don't have an axe buried in them.
progression.
Yeah,
But
progression, growth, which is something I
he
can't
looks
actually
down
do.
at you. um, but our agreement was you bring back Asher and the child alive, and you receive one bottle of the good shit.
Oh, that's right.
The,
There was a
the
payment.
super strong, magically infused alcohol.
I'm gonna need you to put that into my inventory because
Add it to, as before you add it, he looks at you and he passes you 2 bottles. He goes, well, the arrangement was for a bottle of this for the return of Asher and the child alive. Now, I made that arrangement with both you and Blaze. Unfortunately, I am not able to pay Blaze his, but I'm sure that he would want you to have his share.
I'll make sure
So-
he gets it.
You each get a bottle. So add to your inventory 2 bottles of Armando's special.
Custom item.
Dana loves her custom items.
Armando's special reserve. Oh, it always does this. You start typing and it closes
Goes
the
back.
whole bunch of...
Yeah.
Yeah. D&D Beyond, what the hell?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Armando's Special reserve. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Whoops.
And these are 1 litre bottles. So
I wrote leader. D&D Beyond doesn't recognize it because I spelt it the British way.
it's D&D, D&D,
Beyond.
D&D Beyond. And we've got to stop there. Alright, well, on that note,
Oh,
I believe...
honestly, if we get flagged and Critical Role learns that we exist, I'll be happy. Even if we just for a fucking cease and desist.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a break for 10 minutes, come back, and we'll see what happens from there. So, hang around and we will be right back. Also, I've upgraded the Twitch stream thingies and added stuff
Animations.
to the background and trying to do stuff to help the channel. So if you follow, thanks. We'll be right back. Exactly. We're back.
Ah, hey, shit. Yeah, we weren't doing nothing.
Yeah. Okay. So, actually, I'll make it that one. There we go. We left off with Xalston receiving 2 bottles of Armando's special. I forget what you called it. Why is that
Armando's Special Reserve.
reserve?
I've added no properties to it or anything. I've just. It's
Yep.
quite frankly a lump in the notes.
Cool.
And there's 2
Sorry.
of them.
Just. Why did that not work? Can we go for break for a sec, just while I try to fix this? Stream ended? Nope. Where is... We're back. Alright.
We are back.
Fuck me. Best
Trying to
time to
admin
be
stuff,
fucking
and we're
around is
still
while
learning
we're
how to
live.
use this thing.
I realised that I had it set up wrong, so anyone could type in exclamation point YouTube and or Twitch, and it would do the thing, and that's not right. So now it's I still need to fix it because it still says like winning is bracketed, but it loads, so it's fine. I'll deal
Xalston
with
has
that
no idea what you're
after
talking
stream. What was that?
I'm saying my gnome has no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Exactly. We're back. Xalston is about to walk out of Armando's hut slash
Oh, that was Henry
abode.
Paul. Very good. Oh no. You made things go red, that's bad.
Don't make me do it. So.
I'll be good.
Oh, I need to fix that. That's meant to be white. Alright. So, you leave Armando's. You head across the way to... It's like a semi side street, and then it connects to the main road, and you head left to go into the main town, which has the bar area. It's like a kind of like a food truck, coffee shop thing that is being decked out to be a pub. So it's an open air bar. And as you approach, a elderly lady approaches you holding a wooden tankard that is engraved with like vines and wreaths on the outside.
See,
And
now I want one.
what's that?
Now I want one. All I got is this metal thing.
Why are you so quiet? Because I turned you down. There we go. It's slightly larger than the leaky tankards that you get, and it is intricate in its design. There's like the vines. You can see someone's taken a lot of time to make this, and each vine has multiple leaves spreading off it, and there's like some thorns and like they kind of intertwine and spread out around it, and then at the faceplate it has like a crest, and you can see that it's rushed, but there is Blazer's name engraved into the faceplate.
I looked to the lady and said, please tell me there's more of these.
This one is special. This one is for you. You can add that custom item as Blazer's tankard. It currently
There needs to
holds...
be more of these. There needs to be more of these because he deserves to be remembered.
Sometimes it is better to have only one, because it makes it more special, like they were.
Fair. But this man was a hero to this settlement. And this is his final resting place. He needs to be remembered by more than just me.
And that is what tonight is for. You tell your stories, and those stories get told again and again and again. The Nimrith grow up telling stories of the one that fell, trying to protect them. We're all stories in the end.
Yeah,
May as well make it
that's
a good
true.
one, right?
Oh, and this is a good one. It's not necessarily a story for children. There was a lot of blood, but
The more
it
you
was a good
tell,
story.
the more we know. The more we know, the more we can pass on.
And with that, I'll start and just say, well, for starters, he was scary looking. For those of you who remember, he didn't look like most of you. He had horns, he had wings, he had wrong coloured skin. His eyes, they were wrong. But despite what he looked like, he was one of the kindest people I'd ever met. Oh, and that's funny. I met him. He was in a sack. Some guy was carrying him in a sack, barged into me. I cut his feet. I cut that guy's feet off because he wouldn't apologize. I opened up the sack and there he was, this weird-looking guy. But as let's face it, as impolite and weird as I was, it never bothered him. He put up with a lot of crap from me, and sometimes stopped me from making stupid decisions. Sometimes encouraged me in making stupid decisions. But he was always there. He never judged me. He'd never judge any one of you. He just went about his doing his thing, tried to help people where he could. That's how he ended up where he ended up with me, helping out an old friend we made. I look around, I'm assuming Ash is here.
Yeah.
Helping out a friend we made when we came here. And helping out a little girl, who I'm assuming isn't here.
Uh, you see just on the outskirts of, like, as you're talking, more and more people are gathering around. And, like, it's. People have been told, and it's a small town. Everything spreads really quick. And so, like, people that. You see these older people that are, like, in their dressing gowns and stuff that were going to bed. And they're, like, coming out and they're all kind of gathering in, and it's pretty much nearly the whole town is kind of surrounding the center marketplace, and you're kind of smack dead in the middle, and you can pick people that you've seen before and, like, just in passing, and but you do
Oh,
pick up.
Dave better be there.
Oh, Dave's there. Dave's standing like 2 foot behind Asher, kind
Yeah.
of. He's got 2 drinks and he's like trying to barge through the group of people to give Asher one. But you do notice that on the outskirts of the circle, Catalina and Nimrith.
Yep.
And she's just kind of like standing there with her hands on her shoulder, like the mum standing
Yep.
over the.
Point over to it. It's like, he was there. He helped her with every ounce of what he had. No judgment, and let's face it, he copped a lot of judgment in his time. He was a little weird. But this place embraced him like no other place that I knew of while I knew him did. So that's why I figured this is where his home is. His final home should be. He was a champion. He was a hero. He was my best friend. We'd done a lot together. But and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be standing here right now. Your old friend Asher over there wouldn't be standing here right now. And little Nimrith wouldn't be standing here right now if it wasn't for our buddy, our friend Blaze.
Asher speaks up. He's like, "For Blaze!" And he holds his tankard up that Dave's just given him.
Blaze!
He may have fallen, but may his memory live on in all of us.
Weird as he was. Who isn't a little weird?
We're all weird here.
And let that be a lesson to everyone. Embrace the weird. It's good for you. And from that, I'll hop down off the barrel that I was standing on.
Make it acrobatics.
Oh, please, let's face it. I've finished off that bottle of rum by now.
Yeah, no. I won't say
So
a disadvantage.
I'm glad to take this at disadvantage.
No. I will say just a straight roll.
Straight roll? Alright.
Yeah.
That's a 3.
There's a
I am
sound that
visibly sounding drunk.
echoes of, when you land and your knees don't do what they're meant to do, and there's that crunching sound. There's that sound.
Can I
And
make a saving
you
throw
kind of
and
like
roll
you don't
forward?
bend, you just straight into the ground, and you sink about like good 2 inches.
Okay.
And
Can I take that
it's
and immediately just go with a whimper? Blaze!
And everyone kind of like, Blaze!
Blaze! And I raise up my tank, which I've managed to not spill, and just take another swig. Tears
And
clearly in my
you
eyes.
notice at this point that nearly every single person has a tankard. Of, like, they're all the leaky ones and stuff, or there's a couple of older people that are drinking out of, like, when Blaze met Fred, was it Fred? Yes. Fred was drinking out of like a fancier kind of silver cup. You see a few of them that are like drinking out of pewter kind of they're not mugs, they're like kind of like wine glasses. But
Pewter chalices.
Chalices, thank you. You see a few of them that are like that, and you gather that, from what you know of this town, it is a lot of misfits, people that run out of other towns, and there was Fred, for example, was a rich person that ended up here because of life circumstances, and he actually found that he preferred being a sheep farmer than a super rich person, and
Yeah, right.
it was more fulfilling for his life. But
And that's
there
why
was certain
he
things he
is
couldn't.
salt of the earth.
One
Sorry,
session, man. One session.
I
I
had
thought
to get
this
it
would be it. I thought it would be it, but
Oh,
no.
I had to get it in there.
I'm glad that you didn't do that in Blaze's speech, but
Oh god, no.
Blake,
I was tempted.
I'm sure you'll
tempted.
approve.
Hear that, buddy? I wasn't gonna waste such a cheap line on you. Moving on.
But so the night goes. All right. I was just seeing. Sorry, I was seeing if turning up the brightness actually made the
Nope.
thing more visible, but no, it doesn't.
Nope.
It is just a
It's a square.
Yep. It is a logo that you can't see.
No one can. We'll figure that out later.
So many hours I wasted on this. Uh,
Not waste. We'll fix it.
nope, no fixing it. It's done.
Oh, there's fixing. Don't worry.
I'll just attach a spotlight onto it on the roof.
I've got ideas. We'll talk later. Moving on. We're
Yes.
live right now. For fuck's sake.
ADD, ADHD, whatever it is. Hyperfocus. Let's go. So you multiple people come up and tell you stories of small interactions that you had. There's one guy that comes up and goes, "Oh, I actually helped drag you from Amundo's like not even a week ago because Blaze was struggling and I asked him if he needed any help and he was like, oh no, don't worry about it, and he was happy to do it himself, but I've kind of stepped in. It's this young guy, he's probably maybe mid-20s, and just little bits and pieces like I saw him like traveling through the town and I always wanted to say hi but never actually got a chance because you guys are always on the move, and little bits and pieces.
Yeah. Yep. And I'll take every single little anecdote, shake hands, do all the things, and just like, yep. Make it quite clear that Blaze was the hero in all of this. Mainly because I could have been this massive fucking hero, but I needed someone to keep me in check. And Blaze was the guy who kept me in check and kept me from always going just a little bit too far. So
well,
every single one of these
tried
people,
to, but yes,
he tried to, and a lot. He honestly succeeded more times than he should have, than anyone else ever did. He kept me in check.
So the night goes on. Hear more stories here and there. You try to give more stories, like recanting tales of, just stupid things like the pie eating contest and, stuff like that you're like, oh, this is what I was doing, and then you're like, oh, and Blaze kind of sat there
just
enjoying
watching
himself,
and
just
waiting.
watching. He was never one to take the limelight, and it got to a point where you start to realize that he was just happy to be part of something. And he's not anymore. And you're trying to be positive, but this kind of, the more people you talk to, the more stories you tell, you're just like, he wanted to be accepted. He didn't want to be a hero. He just wanted to be. He wanted to help. He wanted to, live, enjoy, not be judged.
And that's what he got here from these people, was an acknowledgement of here he is. No one cares what he might be. No one cares that he didn't eat much. But, oh boy, he needs certain things. And I make my way over to, what is it, Frank?
Fred?
Yeah, I'll go over to Fred and just... I'm assuming Fred's here.
Yeah.
You knew what he was.
That I did.
More than I did. You could have said something. You could have blown it wide open. I'm sure that would have messed up a lot of people.
I honestly don't think they'd care. We have all sorts in this town. It's the most accepting place that I've ever been, which is why I stay.
That's what I love about this place. I
But
like to throw around the term the salt of the earth a lot. There's a lot of people who are the salt of the earth. But you and everyone here is so much more than that. You guys
we,
are truly.
I believe that it is because we come from all walks of life.
Yeah.
We've all seen things. We've all done things that maybe we don't agree with. But at the end of the day, we each have each other's backs, and we believe we have each other's backs. And that is what is important. And I believe what you and Blaze had was each other's backs. And as sad as it is to see him gone, I'm sure he would be glad that you're still here.
I'm pretty sure
I know
he
that's little solace, but it is something. At least. Don't forget. He did what he did out of a choice. And
because he is who he is.
he wouldn't want you dwelling on the fact and spiraling downwards. He'd want you to keep moving forward.
You're right. You are so right.
Sorry.
Oh,
That
fuck, Dana. Fred. Fred?
Bread?
Was it Fred?
Fred.
You're more right. You are more right than I realized. I thought you are spot on. The guy that he was so open. Let's face it, like I said, I found him in a sack because he looked fancy, and fancy magical creatures like him in this world, they're commodities, so they can be captured, held, and shown off. Despite everything that he's experienced, he didn't care. He never tried really to hide what he was. I mean, he hid it a little bit because practicality is the thing, but he never tried to make excuses. He was who he was. And the people who knew, he just got to shrug and move on.
What you need to do is try to imagine he's still here with you. And when you get in situations, consider what would he want? You say that he was like a guiding post. Use him as a lighthouse for your decisions.
Oh, but you see, sometimes assholes do need to get an axe to the neck.
Oh, I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying maybe take a breath and think, what would Blaze do?
And then hit him in the axe with the neck. Got it.
Sure.
God damn it, Dana. 11 days.
I'm ignoring it.
Um, yeah, I think he'd like that.
He he was level-headed, always thinking 10 moves ahead.
Oh,
And I guarantee that he knew what he was doing when he did what he did. He may not have
oh,
thought it would have been the outcome, but he
yeah.
made that. He would have looked at all situations.
I definitely agree with you. I think he made that decision. He did the numbers and figured out I have to do this. He took that risk knowing there was the chance that, however small it may have been, there was a chance that that may have gone the way it went. But that was the choice he made.
Now, question is, if he hadn't done that, do you think you would have gotten out alive?
No, we wouldn't have.
So then, what other choice would he have?
And that is why I stand here now,
I agree.
alive, alive, and able to declare this man the absolute hero that he was. 100% without any sense of doubt in my mind. Now, I'm a hero. I like going into situations. I risk my life all the time, but I don't stop and think about what might be. I just do it. He was a thinker. He figured it out and then decided. It makes him a better man than I am.
Well, I look at it this way. He was willing to risk his life to save you because he thought you were a better man than he was. We all look at ourselves at worse versions of ourselves. So
Well,
he obviously saw something in you that he thought was worth saving. So
fuck, that means I've got something to live up to, doesn't it?
don't let him down. Keep him in your mind and move forward as he would want you to move.
And get better axes.
Maybe some
Fuck.
that come back to you.
Oh, that would require magic, and that's just
Boomerang
messed up.
axe.
I don't trust magic. Shit gets weird with magic. That reminds me. I've got to murder a guy. At that point, I ask Fred first. Then I proceed to start asking around about, start just laying out a description of that motherfucker who was chiseling away at my arm. And see if
Uh,
this visual description of this prick rings anyone's bells.
Alright, so I will get you to make a. Oh, I gotta find my mouse.
Person has vanished.
I'll say either investigation. No, it'll be an investigation because you'll be asking.
Yeah. And I'm
And people
letting
are
this
willing to
go over
speak
the
to you at
course
this
of several
point,
hours.
so it'll just be a straight roll.
Oh, nice. Did you have anything prepped for this at all?
So you give the description of the old guy that was chiseling your arm, and you don't. A lot of the people are like, "Oh, I can't, don't recognize that description." You're going, it's an old guy, you know. I think he had like scratches down the side of his face. I'd have to rewatch what I said because I didn't write that shit down because I don't do prep. Um,
And you're like, what the fuck have you done to me, you bastards? I'm sorry.
no, I've got information on the papers you found of
Role
wild
play
magic.
heavy.
That's about
I'll
it.
fucking throw shit at you, and you go like, oh shit, where's my notes?
Yeah. So you described the old guy. I'm pretty sure he had like scratches down his face, on the side of his face, and he was like old human. He had like a scattery beard. And most people are like, doesn't ring a bell. Like, the broad description. The other thing is you were in and out of pain and consciousness. So the little
Yeah.
bits that you have, it's like it was an old
Oh,
human.
I assume this DC was fucking potentially high, so
Yeah. Um,
I was expecting to
there is
roll
one
advantage
guy
because
that you
this one
talk
I'm drunk as
to
fuck.
that he goes, it kind of sounds like a guy that came through here maybe like a year ago. There was like
A year ago.
he was headed towards the mountains because there was a possibility of he was doing some research or something for some company that I don't remember the company name, but um, something about maybe at the center of the mountain there was a like cluster of wild magic or something, and they were going to explore it and try to see if they could harness it.
Hmm. Can I do just like a I guess this would be a history check potentially? Because let's face it, my previous work in lines of this is dealing with magical creatures and wild magic and all that shit. Doing a basic understanding of the wild magic in general and the weird shit that I've seen.
I'll say make a roll, but with disadvantage by
Oh,
the
because I'm drunk. I'm drunk
sporadic.
as fuck. Yes.
No. I was going to say by the sporadic remembering of this one guy.
So straight roll or
No,
history with disadvantage.
a disadvantage.
So history of disadvantage or straight roll at disadvantage.
History, a
History of
disadvantage.
disadvantage. Okay. I rolled an 11 and a 12, so that's a total of 12. What do I necessarily remember
Heading
from what
notes.
I've previously seen?
So, with your history with tracking down wild magic creatures, it's mainly stemmed from you haven't left Aurelia very often.
No.
Like when you came to Savannah, that's the first time you've been there.
Mm.
But you have heard of multiple fractions, I guess. They're not. So you've got like the guilds. There's multiple guilds. Like you got the Traders Guild. You got the there's a Magic Guild. There's Traders Guild, Magic Guild. Fuck, I had it and it's gone. There's like 4 or 5 guilds that in Dorelia itself that specialize in certain things. Like Blaze was part of the Traders Guild, which is the only one that you've really had experience with. You get side jobs from different guilds every now and again, but it was rare because they didn't like exporting their like jobs to non-guild members because it meant that their guild members, that they pay a tax to, or like pay an allowance to, would not get a job. So it's like paying double for a job. But there was sometimes that you'd do a mission for, like, a magic guild, for example, a wild magic guild, which is where you dealt with a lot of your, like, the grey area of the wild magic guilds was where a lot of your jobs came from beforehand.
Yeah.
So through these routes, you did hear of a fraction of the Wild Magic Guild that was going against. So the purpose of the Wild Magic Guild was to observe, collect information, and report effectively. And this fraction was more observe, conquer, and export. So the fraction was like, we can make money off, if we can find wild magic that we can actually control, we can use that wild magic, sell it, and make profit. Opposed to find wild magic, SCP.
Yep.
I don't know what that is.
No idea either. Yep.
Yeah, so like they were kind of, the fraction was kind of going against the guild, but you haven't really heard much about the fraction in the last year and a half. They kind of went dark. So you kind of, with this information, with the 12, you kind of like, oh, alright, there's information there that's familiar, and you're kind of going, that sounds like something that this fraction would be doing.
Right. Your phone just went ping.
Yes, it did. So we're going to go for a quick, not even a full break. It's going to be a 5-minute break. And I just really like this new Be Right Back screen. And we're back. Alright, sorry
Hey!
about that. Nature calls and all that.
We're getting the hang of it. Eventually we'll have to do it, so we only take one break.
So,
It's been emotional.
this character explains to you that he saw someone come through. You start sparking, and you're like, oh, okay, that kind of what I've heard from Dorelia sounds like the fraction of wild magic guild that has gone sideways. And yeah, that's where we left
Make
off.
another that specific. I should make another that specific as well.
Why are you quiet?
Why am I quiet?
Set right?
No, it's fine.
Yeah,
Have
I
you
turned
turned me
it
down?
Yeah.
Why'd you turn me down again? Jeez.
Because your fluctuation in vocal capabilities.
I'm sorry.
We're professionals. Oh, I spilled my drink on my pants. Professionals.
I've already lost track of that, mate. We'll figure that out later. You'll send me a thing so I can add it to my notes.
What? Send what to your notes?
Anything that you mentioned about what the old man just said, because
He just gave you a rundown of the old guy that came through about a year and a half ago. Saying it sounded like this guy that came through that was headed towards the mountain because there was a cluster of supposed wild magic at the center of the mountain that they were trying to harness.
cluster in the mountain. They tried to harness.
Yeah.
Bam, done. I suck at taking notes, and we've made it this far.
Yay. Now you're the only note taker, so
I know, right? Because it's just me. Blaze is dead.
that's what his RIP thing's there for. I even crossed out his eyes because that's what you do with dead people.
Yeah, I saw it. Someone had to roll on that 20.
Dude,
I'm looking at you, buddy.
I don't fudge my rolls. That's how it rolls. That's how it rolls.
Oh, I know. You still clicked on the thing to make the roll happen.
Yeah,
still
I
your
think
fault.
I actually rolled it in person, not clicked.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
You using the special dice that always roll high.
No,
So, yeah,
actually, I
your fault.
was switching
Your
them up.
fault.
But it's fine. I didn't want him to die, but he's dead now, so we'll
Yeah.
have to deal with that. So you end up, talking to a few more people. You don't really get more information. That's the most information with the 12 that you get, and it's just
Yeah.
some random guy that you don't think you've ever spoken to before. But it is what it is.
Huh. Well, that's a lot to deal with. Make note of that, but meanwhile I continue on going, well, let's not let this party get more than I'm distracted by shit, but I'll lock that away in the vault for contemplation later. Let's settle. Meanwhile, let's celebrate this weirdo as he was. I climb up onto a table, but at this point I get someone to help me climb up onto the nearest table. Raise my tank to the sky and just shout out as top of my lungs, "To Blaze!"
You actually notice that, every so often there's this kind of like you hear the murmuring of the town, because pretty much the whole town minus kids are in this square, like the marketplace. Every so often he's like, "Rah, rah, rah, to blaze," and it just kind of like starts like a Mexican wave kind of effect. To blaze, to blaze, to blaze. And it
Yep.
bounces around. And but you notice when you do it, everyone stops, stares at you, and you have like the full town's attention, and they all lift their tankards up, or represented cups, and they're like, "To Blaze, the hero of Savannah."
The hero of Silvano. Oh shit! Another broken tankard. They're not the tankard. The coaster. The coaster that is going to be part of our giveaway.
No, not that size, but yes. I mean, these are part of the options. Design wise, anyway. Mine,
Sorry, had to go shameless plug.
yep. You could also, it isn't on the list, but if you follow and you wish, you could get a Blaze coaster that I could imbue with RIP because he's
Oh,
dead.
dude, I need one of those. I fucking need one of those.
But yes, joys of being me with my laser.
There needs to be an RIP Blaze coaster.
Yep. But yes,
Contact
so
us direct. Contact out the Twitch channel directly, and we'll try and get one of those out to you. Look at me making promises.
um, yeah, you guys, you end up, your night kind of goes along, people start dispersing. After, a good, I'd say like 5 hours of drinking, like, this is the whole town drinking.
Oh yeah. In hindsight, that occurs to me. That's a bad idea.
But yeah,
I'm hoping some of the militia are actually still at work.
oh, Dave, you see Davey kind of doing like, he's drinking, but he's going to and from the North Gate. And same with Nova. Nova's like, you see. Make a perception check.
Disadvantage, I'm assuming.
No,
Really? Because I'm drunk as fuck by this point.
I'm saying this over a long period of time.
Okay. It's a 3.
Glad you didn't roll at a disadvantage.
Like I said, I'm drunk as balls.
You,
The dice knew.
you even with a 3, you put together that you've never seen Nova and Dave in the same room. And then you start in your drunken thoughts, is it possible they're the same person?
You know what? Fuck you. You son of a bitch. That's going into the fucking notes.
I do have descriptions for both of them,
Oh.
I believe, on some notes.
What the fuck did I just do?
I don't know. I can't tell you, I'm not there.
Oh. I hit control instead of shift.
Well, I can still see you, so that's good. So Nova is... Oh, shit. That's not Nova at all. An Irish human. And Dave is human. So, I mean... Because in my original notes, Nova was a fairy. But that didn't pan out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep, exactly. So, you see Dave every so often, like he'll appear, get a drink, and then hang around for a bit, talk to a few people, and then disappear. You see Orion as well, the older gnome guard that's still currently working on the North Gate. The
Mm.
North Gate seems to be the rookie gate, so
Yeah.
there's less it's less likely to be attacked from the north than it is from the south. So Nova, Asher tend to guard the south gate. Um, yeah, so Nova, Asher at the south, and Dave and Orion are at the north. And they usually kind of, 12 hours on, 12 hours off, kind of rotate. But with everything that's happening, they're kind of like Dave's
They've been
coming down,
rotating.
getting a drink, socializing for a bit, heading back up, and then Orion's coming down, getting a drink, socializing for a bit, heading back up. And same thing
Staying
with.
sober,
Hmm?
but staying sober.
Sure. I mean,
Fair.
it's commiserating celebration.
Like I said, if this is a chance for anyone to fucking attack, this is the best time to do it.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens next session.
I should stop giving the DM ideas, shouldn't I?
But this goes on for, it's good for 5 hours. And people are, heading home and stuff. And there's still it's surprising. There's, you've got the other thing you should note is you haven't paid for a single drink tonight. They've just been taking your tankard, filling it up, sometimes with wine, sometimes with ale, sometimes with rum, sometimes it's just they take it off you, they fill it up, they bring it back, and you drink it. And this thing holds 1.2 litres.
And that's why those people are the salt of the earth. Sorry, had to say it.
Salty fuckers.
Had to say it.
So this goes on for a while. You're starting to feel the effects, obviously, and it's surprising. The ones that you notice sitting around, still kind of gathered, are the older people. It's the younger ones have kind of gone too hard too fast, and they've all fucked off. And you've got these. You see Fred. You see Kane. He's appeared. The Undertaker.
I'm these boys. Hang on.
Armando's
Fred.
there.
Kane. Amando's already here. Yeah.
Yeah. But the people that are remaining, it started off as this giant circle kind of surrounding this thing, and it's kind of gotten smaller, less people, the circle's gotten smaller, so it still feels as emotional and impactful as possible, and they all seem to be circled around you. And it's still, there's maybe 30 people in this circle now that are just kind of surrounding you, and still you hear every so often they're one of them will hold up the thing to Blaze, and that all
Blaze!
toast. Yeah, and it's almost like they're trying to make you pass out.
Oh,
And
above table red flags are fucking flying.
no, it's literally above table. It is people being respectful and wanting you to feel that the town is appreciating Blaze as much as you did. And So the older ones are there going like, we've lived through a lot of shit, and we want you to know that what you're going through will pass, but it it takes a lot, and it's going to take some time.
For the record, last note I just added then in the Silvano section of my notes is I've been adding people to my Silvano section of notes. The last one I just added was Blaze, the hero of Silvano.
This goes on for about. They kind of expected it to go on for like maybe an hour more, but 3 hours later you're still
Oh, I
going,
am
and like it's gone from like 30 people to 10 people, and it gets to a point where it is literally you, Fred, Kane, because he's
Asher.
used to this kind of Kane. You notice Kane isn't. Asher keeps on coming back and forward.
Yeah, but
He's still suffering a point of exhaustion, but he's still doing watch with Nova. So when Asher isn't
he's a
there,
boss.
yeah, when Asher isn't there, Nova is, and it's like every time there's that interaction between Nova would walk away, and you're like almost bleary-eyed, kind of like
And then
someone else would hand you another drink. Asher would walk up, you're like, Asher, to Blaze, and Asher's like, because he's not drunk, like he's not as drunk as you, because he's still working. So he's like holding back. He's having an hour in between kind of thing. He's like, to Blaze!
Rotten bastards having time to sober up in between, prick.
But
And that's how you drink Xalston under the table.
do it in hour lots.
Yeah, while someone else is keeping me busy.
Yeah. So, this goes on longer than they were expecting, but at the end of it, it is you, there's Kane, who... Roll a perception check. Perception or investigation. I'll say at a disadvantage, but...
I was going to say, by this point, surely it's a disadvantage, because
Yeah.
I am fucked. And that's why it's only a 9 and not a 17.
Even with a 9, Kane is straight as an arrow. There's no slurs, there's no... he's spoken to you a few times. You keep on kind of like, you're bouncing. You're that guy that keeps on bouncing between all the patrons. And you're like, oh, you're my best friend. Like, have you heard about fucking...
Salt of the earth.
Yeah, salt of the earth. And most of them are slurring words with you. They're, you feel they're in the moment and stuff. Kane is precise. You see him when you're having a conversation with him. He thinks about what he's going to say. He just has this kind of like aura about him that he's like, not smashed off his fucking head. Not in like a bad way, but like it's just, above table. He knows what he has to do tomorrow, so he doesn't want to be up too late. He doesn't want to be drinking too much because he wants to give Blaze the proper respect to send off in a proper way.
The guy pretty much going,
But
yes!
below table, yeah, pretty much like, or he's drinking.
He's carefully palming it off where he needs to.
It's more because you're not getting any drinks. The drinks that you get are given to you. His drinks are mostly water and He'll have
Well,
like
I
an
don't.
ale in between every now and again.
Yeah, I'm not noticing that with my fucking
No,
knife.
but that's above table. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
like he's trying to be. He knows that tomorrow is going to be rough. He knows that he has to be the best he can
No.
because
Yeah.
he has to
Basically,
be.
Basically, Asher and Kane are proving. Asher, Kane, Orem, and Dave are all proving themselves to be the responsible guards they are,
Yeah,
pacing themselves enough to never actually get truly drunk.
yeah. But you're in sorrow, and you're like people just keep on giving you
And
your
they're gladly letting me get absolutely fucked.
yeah,
Yeah.
because they expected you to pass out about like 4 hours ago, and you just
Oh
keep on
God,
going.
no. Not with my constitution.
Yeah. Um.
That should be a thing. Passive constitution.
Um. But it does get to about because this started just after sundown. This is like 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
It started. It gets to I'll say about 10:30, 11 o'clock is when it started to fade out. It's currently 2 o'clock in the morning. Um,
That's a good wake.
most of the people are asleep. Armando is sitting there, and Armando is sipping out of this. I used the word before, pewter, like a little pewter,
Bit of chalice.
tiny one, like you drink absinthe out of.
Oh, I know the ones.
Yeah, just this tiny, but it's a long stemmed, wide base and
Yeah.
tiny little cup, and he's
Yeah.
like holding it almost at the base so he doesn't have to raise his arm too much. Puts the cup in his mouth and downs it, and then like it's he's doing shots effectively, but you see the bottle that he's holding, and it is that special magic infused alcohol that he's been
Oh,
drinking.
I haven't touched that all night. I'm saving
Yeah,
that.
you haven't needed to. Everyone keeps on bringing you drinks.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, so he's been doing shots of this, and he's sitting kind of. There's like a bonfire kind of thing. I think bonfire kind of like dulls it down a bit. It started off as this like small campfire, and then that was at like 8 o'clock at night, and then people kept on coming in and throwing things in and
Oh
going
yeah,
triple A's.
we made this thing fucking massive.
And as the drunkenness got, there's like chairs and tables.
Someone
and
threw a
stuff that's
fucking jerry can on there. You know it.
yeah, like alchemist fire.
Boom.
But like it's just slowly grown, and
I've actually seen it happen in real life. It's fucking glorious.
Armando's kind of like he's one of the last ones there that you remember anyway in your drunken state.
Yep.
And he has a conversation with you, and he's like, I've been running this town for far too long. And I think this may be the greatest wake we've ever held. To my memory, I do not recall one that has lasted this long, been this strong, or had this high attendance. Now, it may be my drunkenness talking, but take that as at least a bit of solace that. And you see him like he's trying to be proper and prim like he usually is, and like articulating, but he's fucking smashed. And he's like, We as a town once, always, are. We as a town are, always, one.
Hmm.
And when one of us falls, all of us fall. And today, we have all fallen. And I want I want you to know that your service for this town and Blaze's sacrifice. And as he started to say this, like you see
Oh, I'm hearing the
these,
slurring.
not just the slurring, but you see like tears running down his face, and he's like trying to hold it back, trying to hold himself together. And he's like, Blazes, Blazes sacrifice means the world to this town. He saved a child. He saved our god, Asher. And he saved you. He saved our town in more ways than he will ever know. But you know. So don't let his sacrifice be in vain.
Oh, Diva. Like I have shouted several times tonight, you guys, this whole town, has shown both me and Blaze more acceptance than the whole city of Dorelia has, short of one tavern in the entire city. One tavern has looked after us. Outside of that, you guys, an entire town, has been so accepting of us that, yeah, you are. This is Blaze's home. You are so accepting of us. This is Blaze's home. Sort of where his actual home is, I don't know.
Well, tomorrow we will lay him to rest. We'll say our final goodbyes. And this will truly be his home.
Mm. I think he'd like that. Outside of that, I don't. Full disclosure, don't know anything really about him. Don't know where he came from. Never asked. Didn't care to know, really. Because he never asked about my past either. And that's what I like. It didn't matter.
You found each other, and because of that, you were able to save a small child.
We must have several children. Mostly. Mostly. Shut the fuck up. Phone away from. I think he was. I mean, he didn't know it was going to be his last moments, but had he known, he wouldn't have done anything differently. He still would have made the same choices he made. He was a champion among people.
Even
I
people
was
that
going to
wouldn't
say,
accept him.
yeah, I was going to say men, but let's face it. By some people's definition of men, he wasn't a man. I'm not a man. Ash is not a man. To be a man, you got to be a certain specific height and not have pointy ears. But he was a champion among people.
He was a champion of Savannah.
He was a champion of Savannah. He was. And if nothing else, he will be remembered for that.
After tonight, I guarantee it. I don't think I've ever seen such a turnout.
Hell, even if he isn't, I will burn it into the fucking grass if he isn't. But I finally looked down at the plate of food that's been put in front of me ages ago. Did I sober up enough long enough to remember, hey, someone tried to give me food?
After this transpires, yet another 45 minutes passes and pretty much everyone's gone. And you're sitting there. I assume you'll head back to the chapel.
Yes. I return to the chapel. Spend the rest of the night, or 3 hours before sunrise, and just maintain a vigil. My hand axe is still there, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll turn to him and just look at him. I'll just turn to him, look at him, and I say, "Dude, I wish you'd been here for this. You saved this town. You were the hero of these people. Wish you could have been there for it."
You, as you say this, and you take your seat at the base of the altar that he's kind of laying on, you notice that throughout the night people have come in and placed objects around, and you see some laying on him, some laying around him. Around the altar itself there's flowers, there's half drunk drinks, and people have come and paid their respects. And I say half drunk drinks, not in a I've come in, I've drunk half a drink and I've just left it there. It's they've come in, they've
So specifically drunk half of it and left the other half specifically for him.
I was going to say they've poured half a drink out and left the other half for him.
Yeah.
And you see sitting on top of your hand axe that is resting on his chest there is a small water bladder, like a like what do they call it? Drinking skin,
Water skin, wine skin.
water skin, yeah. And there's this like dark red around the cork that you assume Fred's left.
Do I have to add this to my fucking custom shit again?
No, no, no. This is on Blazer's body. But
Right,
this is
so
things that
I'll
people
let you
have.
deal with.
Yeah, this is things people have left that are going to
Yep.
be kind of
Buried.
buried with him.
Yep. Okay.
And you take the assumption from the chats that you had with Fred that this is his contribution to the burial process.
Oh.
And like you see bits and pieces here and there. You see a small little. It's like a hand carved wooden doll with like reeds as hair, and you see that sat at the base of the actual where you're about to sit down.
Mm-hmm.
And you make the assumption that it was names Nimrith that had left that.
Nimrith. Yeah.
And you take your seat and you
I
keep
take my
watch.
seat. I start off just sitting on a pew. Let's face it, I'm tiny compared to a pew. So I start off sitting on a pew cross-legged. Intending to maintain a vigil. But about 3 hours in, my joints hurt. I stretch my legs out. Before you know it, I'm stretched out on the fucking pew and I'm asleep.
About 2 hours after that, Kane wakes you up
No axe throwing.
carefully.
Yeah, no axe throwing. Just almost like, what's up?
It is about 2 hours after sunrise. You made it so close to sunrise. These things are usually done first thing in the morning.
Yeah. Yep. Fair enough.
We can delay it if you wish.
No, it's fine. Let's do it. Do it.
There's two options here.
Mm.
You can help me carry the body,
Mm-hmm.
or we can bring in. I believe Asher and Dave have volunteered, and you can lead the procession, and they will carry it behind you.
3 of us will do it. All 3 of us will all carry.
Understood. And he kind of like leaves for a second and comes back with Asher and Dave. And
I make eye contact with all 3 of them. I really linger on Dave just because it's still fun fucking with him. But I still give each of them just a acknowledging nod of, yeah, fair enough, sort of thing.
and they're all wearing their like their best garb. Like
Oh,
it's
I changed specifically into my vestments for this. I have them and I almost never wear them. But for this, I wear them.
Describe your vestments.
Oh, I don't fucking know. Let's face it. I'm an alakite. Acolyte. I'm sober. Fuck you.
Alakite.
Um,
I'm a kite. in the voice of Ralph.
yeah. My holy vestments that I acquired over my time as an acolyte for a, let's face it, non-existent religion. But it's all I have at this point. I want to show some level of spiritualism, and I show Blaze level of respect in his transition from this life to whatever comes next. I almost never wear them. This is the only time I've worn them in a long time. And I have mine, it's like, let's do this. And I look at Dave and said, you'll never see this ever again. If anyone ever says I was wearing this shit, I will fucking deny it. Just know that. Just maintaining the fear of God, of whatever gods they believe in.
Oh, Asher cracks a half smile, and Dave, he'd look scared if he wasn't looking like he was going to laugh at the fact that you're wearing these clothes.
Oh,
But
if he fucking
he's
laughs,
no,
he's
no.
a dead man.
He's also not stupid enough to laugh, so he's holding
And
it
that's
in.
why I
But
like him.
you can see like that look on his face where it's like,
If I
this
laugh
is a
at this,
serious
I'm gonna
moment.
die.
Got to be serious. Got to be serious.
If I
Got to be
laugh, I'm
serious.
gonna. If I laugh, I'm gonna die.
Um,
He's gonna cut my balls off and feed them to me till I choke.
yeah. So between the three of you, actually four. So, Kane is going to help you with this. You lift Blaze's body up. Before that, Kane collects all the items that have been left, and there's. You guys have been to this town like twice before, maybe twice in total. There is like 4 sacks worth of stuff that has been left as mementos, as a personalized kind of.
I don't think my encumbrance can handle that shit.
What?
I don't think my encumbrance can handle that shit.
No. So Kane collects it all up, puts it in sacks, and takes each sack individually out of the chapel itself. And all you see is Kane load these sacks up and leave through the front door that he closes behind him. Come in, leave, come in, leave. 4 sacks go out. Anyway, he comes back in.
Later.
Hmm?
I'll talk to him about that later.
He comes back in and assists you, Dave, and Asher with Blaze's corpse, and you manage to. Not much different to the spear stretcher that you guys made, but it's more ornamental in sense.
Ceremonial.
It is too long. My ear bit just fell out. It's 2 long poles that are like gold in color, but they're not gold. They're just in color, and there's like a white kind of sheet that connects the 2. So each of you lift one at the end of the pole arms and start walking and as you get to the door, so it goes Xalston, which has it on his shoulder.
I'm assuming Asher is standing next to me because anyone
Yes.
else, it would look fucking wrong.
Asher is on the other side, but he's kind of holding it like,
A little low down.
yeah, like up at
Like,
his
so
chest.
it's like about here on his shoulder.
Yeah. So it's not on his shoulder, but he's like holding it under, like it goes just under his arm,
Under the
and he's
pit.
like, yeah, he's
It's
kind of
under the
holding it like
pit, and
that.
he can still manage it because he's stocky as fuck.
And Dave and Kane, who are both human, are like,
They're walking to half squats.
no, they've got the pole kind of like to
At
their
their waist.
side, but they've like linked their fingers underneath, and they're
Yep.
holding it like that. And
Dead,
you
dead
get to
straight
the,
arm at the waist, just like walking.
yeah. You get to the door, and Asher taps the door with his foot, and it opens. And there is this. Thanks for the follow. That's amazing. Thank you.
Oh, we're getting follows. Nice.
We are almost at our goal of a giveaway. Not.
Really? Oh.
So, you guys are carrying Blaze's corpse, and Asher gets to the door. And I can't spell.
Oh, poor Xalston.
So you get to the door, and Asher taps it with his foot, and it opens, and you see a procession of townspeople that are just lined up, and you see as you walk out of the chapel, there is like, it's kind of like snakes around towards the south gate, and you see about maybe 20 feet in front of you these 4 people each carrying a sack, and you start following this snaking trail, and the townspeople, they kind of like, so they were snaking around, and the ones that you walk past start walking, they increase their speed to go in front, so there's just this constant line of townsfolk that you're walking by.
Honor guard, doing their thing.
Not honor guarding like over the top, they're just like marking your trail as you walk towards the gravesite, graveyard.
Yeah.
And so you turned right out of the chapel, followed the fence line along, got to the south gate, walked out of the south gate, and then you turn another right and head up towards hang on, I can bring you guys to a map, because that's something I can do. Oh, I gotta close that. So,
Oh,
you're here.
Man, oh, she's happened there.
Oh. Well, we just had one of our players die.
Yeah.
So the graveyard is like here. So you've got like
Oh, I don't like how far away from Savannah that is.
no, like Savannah, like it's probably only about maybe 150 meters from the actual perimeter of Savannah.
is still where the goblins get at it. Xalston not gonna like that, but he's gonna deal with it for now. You
Yeah,
better believe he's
but
gonna set a 24-hour vigil.
so you walk around and like the townsfolk keep on making this path towards the actual um, gravesite. What are they called? Cemetery. Thank you, Marine. You came through. So you make it to the cemetery, and a like around the outskirts of the cemetery, it is like a 8-foot fence, and there is like it's a metal fence, metal bar the whole way around. It's
Yeah,
fairly large, but like the gate itself has like a padlock that Kane, the Undertaker, has the key to, which he's carrying, currently helping you carry. And one of the younger ones come up to him and he offloads the key to, and the younger one goes, opens the gate, and you guys make your way through into the graveyard itself, and it is, I mean, it's not overly populated. There's, from what Armando was saying, Savannah has only been in existence for
see,
15, 20 years. Like, it was
oh, that
about the
long,
same time as the Conflux.
right?
And a lot of people that kind of yeah, a lot of people that are in kind of Savannah either get buried at Dorelia's actual cemetery, or they get dragged to this place. And this place is much nicer than Dorelia's, so
Mm.
I mean, there's still quite a bit of property here, but it's well protected, and you see halfway down the lot there is already a grave dug, and uh, trying not to read the chat. It's really difficult.
Yeah,
I'm just
ignore the chat for
excited.
now. We'll chase him later.
I'm just excited someone else is watching this
I
besides
know,
our
right?
friends.
Hi, we
Focus,
see you.
focus. Dana, interact with them.
Please.
so,
I don't know how.
uh, so you guys make your way through the cemetery towards the uh, already dug grave, and you watch as like everyone kind of circles around the grave itself, and you, Asher, Dave, and Kane walk to the center. You lower the corpse of Blaze into this hole,
Corpse.
and then
Corpse. That hurts.
yeah, well, I mean, how else do I put it? You lower Blaze down into this hole,
That's better.
and each of the people that were carrying the sacks walk up, and they hand each sack to you, Xalston, and they're like, open the sack, and they give you each item in between, and you kind of take the item, inspect it, I guess kind of works, and
Yep.
place it onto his body, which already has the hand axe is still sitting there, and
That is being buried with him.
yeah, no, this is all being buried with him. These 4 sacks of stuff is being buried
Yep.
with him too. But these are all like, so the hand axe is still sitting on his chest, and the water skin filled with sheep blood is also sitting on his chest. And they start handing you things like the little doll that Nimrith left. There's flowers, there's tankards that don't have any liquid in them anymore because they were like leaking. Uh, there's bits and pieces that people have left throughout the night, and you accumulate these things and tip them into, like, place them onto Blazer's body before lowering him into the ground.
Mm.
Is there any words that you wish to say before they start to?
As they start filling, before I start helping shovel, a lot of what was needed saying was said last night, but I'll say it now again officially. This man, as weird as he was a hero of these people. He was a hero of people in Dorelia. They'll never fucking know, but he was. But he was a hero of Silvano. I would not be standing here if he wasn't. So, let it be known. Hero of Silvano was Blaze.
And with that, a few other townsfolk come in with shovels and help you fill in the grave.
Grab a handful of soil and just...
And you do actually notice within the crowd there are quite a bit of tears. And you guys had only entered this town like twice, but you helped a lot of people, and like you see Nimrith, like, just full tears down her face. Her mom's kind of holding her.
I'll walk over to her at some point and just give her, if not a full hug, at least a good old pat on the shoulder and say, "It's okay.
She's
Look at this and let it make you stronger."
She
You're a
kind of
good
like
kid.
sniffs a bit and nods her head.
Cry. Don't be afraid to cry. It makes you strong.
And as you say that, tears just start flowing, and she just kind of buries her face in her mom and wraps her arms around her and, like, just sobs.
Good girl. Good girl. And I start crying with her. It's okay.
And I think that's where we're going to end tonight's session. So
I think that's a good place. Because if we keep going, I am going to fucking bawl.
I hope Blaze watches this and
We are going
appreciates
to...
what we do.
If nothing else, let's face it, this episode was our eulogy to our first ever permadeath in this campaign. So
it's my first ever permadeath in any D&D game I've done. It's
Same.
been a lot.
And I've played a bunch. In all the campaigns I've ever played, I've had a bunch of mulligans. This is my first ever permadeath too. So we're going above table right now, people.
Yes.
This was a milestone for me, who has been playing this longer than our DM. and a milestone for our DM as well. So yeah. I mean, look at the tissue that I've had here. It's kind of mangled now because I've been trying so hard. Thank you everyone who has stuck around.
And
For the record, I'm not the host of this Twitch
no,
channel.
I am. I'm sorry, replying to chat
He's
message.
busy replying to chat.
Thank you so much for actually tuning in, and we're gonna actually raid someone, hopefully.
Oh
If I
yeah,
can.
so stick around for the raids because that somehow helps us.
Yes, apparently. I don't know. Let's
Yeah,
see.
well, man, I don't know.
Hero for life. Let's raid Hero for life. So, thanks for tuning in. I'll put the stream ended thing up, and then I'll start the raid. So, thanks, guys. Hopefully, see you next Tuesday at 5 p.m. Thank you, bartender Azel.
Bartender Aziel.
Azil. Thank you. Hopefully, see you next week, and we'll see what happens. All right. Thanks, guys.